Hello, everyone. We will wait just a few seconds here and give everyone a chance to filter in. Hello, Art.
Hey, Nicole, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. I'm excited for this.
Yes,
Been,
me too.
been thinking about it a lot, and I can't believe how many people we have registered for this
I
webinar. It's
know.
crazy.
This is great.
Uh, Clearly, there's some interest in AI.
Yes. All right, I will
Uh,
go ahead and move us forward here. Thank
all
you
right.
for joining us today for our webinar, Artificial Intelligence and MSPs, Defining Your Role in the AI Revolution. I am Nicole Kurtz. I am the Director of Product Marketing here at BSN, and I'm joined today by our CEO, Art Gross. Art, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And what's interesting is, yes, I am the CEO of Breach Secure now, and but you may or may not know, I'm also an MSP owner. I've run an MSP for 25 years. I still own my MSP. So today, I plan on talking more as an MSP than I do as a CEO of BSN. I want to give an MSP perspective. Now, clearly, I'll probably wave some BSN stuff in here, but for the most part, I'm going to give an MSP perspective on where AI fits in and how we define our roles in this AI productivity revolution.
That's great. That perspective will really help us in today's conversation. So thank you for that, Art. Really quick, we'll just talk about the agenda. We're going to focus, of course, all about AI today, how you as an MSP play a critical role in adoption of AI, what that looks like for you, what that looks like for your clients, what the benefits are for your clients, the threats, all things AI, and just embracing the AI revolution. So, as always, we will have a giveaway. Our team voted on what AI tool we'd give away today. So the pick was the Echo 15 Show. So this it does a lot of things. You can mount it on your wall. You can put it on this tilt shift. It has a remote for I don't really know what, but I bet it's really fun. So the only thing is you do need to be present to win. So just stick around to the end of the session and we'll give that away um, to one of you. Also, I want to
Okay.
mention we are recording today. So if you have to drop early or you want to share this content with your team, we will send out the recording following the webinar. All right. So the
All right.
housekeeping, I think we're ready to dive in. Art, do you want to first talk to us about just like what is generative AI today? What is it not? What are we
Yeah.
doing with it? Those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think that's important. Um, for this webinar and in our minds, we're thinking of AI as tools to amplify human productivity, tools that will help employees become more productive. What we're not talking about is autonomous agents, workflows, things that just happen, public-facing support chat, chatbots. All of that stuff will come, but right now we don't think that's ready for prime time, right? Saying having AI just go and run by itself, or fine tuning a chatbot so it gives answers that are always correct and not hallucinate. So for this webinar, we're talking about tools like ChatGPT, right? We're talking about tools that employees can use to become more productive. And just to bring it home and to start us off, Moderna, the pharmaceutical company, they have about 10,000 employees, give or take some, and they rolled out ChatGPT to every single one of their employees, the researchers, the HR, finance, public relations. Everyone was given ChatGPT. They were trained all the employees on ChatGPT. They built a culture around using AI. Everyone was encouraged to use AI as part of their job. And the CEO said that their 10,000 employees will act as a team of 100,000. So Moderna thinks that they will 10x their employees' productivity. That's incredible. And if it's true, it's incredible. But even if it's 5x or even 2x, imagine your clients having 2x or 5x the capacity, right? With 10 employees doing the work of 20 employees or 50 employees or 100 employees doing the work of 200 or 500. I mean, it's incredible. And that is really where the opportunity, and Moderna thinks, let's just give ChatGPT to our employees. So that's really what we're going to focus on today.
Awesome. So let's first look at like what tools we're interacting with already using AI in both personal and business.
Yeah, so everyone's heard of ChatGPT. You have Google Gemini, you have Microsoft Copilot, you got Meta AI, Claude, Perplexity, you got Midjourney, you got Canva, all of the image or design type of productivity tools. So that's what we're really focusing on, whether it's free or it's $20 a month. Those are the tools that by themselves can really, or together, can help employees become much more productive. So when we're talking about AI, we're specifically talking about these tools. There will be other tools. I just want to reiterate that there are other tools that will be autonomous, automated workflows. All that will come. But for today, we think that these are the tools that employees, if they were using, would be much more productive. All right, so why AI? Why now? This is a biggie, all right? And I want to spend some time on this, all right? Because I believe that the table is set, all right? It's taken us 30 years to get here. So if you go back 30 years, the public internet was not really rolled out, all right? It's about 30 years ago. Public internet was rolled out 30 years ago. We have connected billions of people to the internet. We have almost every business has a presence on the internet some way or another. We have then created vast amounts of digital information, right? You think about all the patient information, think about, word processing, you think about PDFs, you think about databases, all that digital information has been created. We then moved a lot of those those infrastructure up to the cloud, and embraced cloud computing. And then also, we've rolled out mobile devices, right? Mobile apps. So if you put all that together, you have tons of information, you have tons of computing, the internet is ubiquitous, you have mobile devices that are extremely powerful. Everything is ready for AI to use all of that. So that was a key piece of getting here. And I think there's some real parallels of how we got here and MSP's roles of how we got here that will play out in AI. So, let's just go through some of it. And as I said, I've run my MSP for 25 years. In 25 years ago, we were connecting offices, one office to another for a client via VPN tunnels or site-to-site VPN. That was never done before, And now these two offices could talk to each other and share computing, and share data and systems. Remote access, we've implemented remote access. We implemented Exchange servers and email. They set up websites with forms and all of that way of talking to customers. We then, the clients then digitalized all their information. We then moved workloads up to Office 365, AWS. So then we implemented cloud computing, which we had a big part in doing that and selling why they should move to the cloud, the benefits and the process, and actually doing that migration. We implemented bring your own devices and mobile devices and help clients implement that in a secure way. So MSPs had a huge role in implementing all of the infrastructure that we have today that's going to be leveraged. And I see the same role that MSPs are going to have as we start to implement AI solutions now and in the future. And one other thing, and then we'll move on, is, in the early 2010s, like 2010, 2011, 2012, healthcare was incentivized to implement electronic health records. The government gave healthcare billions of dollars to implement EHRs. And medical practices took that money and they went ahead and started to implement EHRs, and they leaned on MSPs. They asked MSPs, help us implement these new systems and help us put this infrastructure in place. And my MSP We spent a lot of time setting up servers so EHRs could be installed on that, setting up servers so PAC machines and digital X-rays. We put thin clients or mobile devices or mobile computing carts in exam rooms. So we spent a lot of time almost acting like a general contractor, right? And helping healthcare organizations implement this and working with different vendors. Other MSPs said, you know what, let's go figure out this clinical workflow. Let's go figure out these EHRs. And they went a little further. They said, not only are we going to set up the infrastructure, but we're going to do the EHR implementations. And the reason I bring that up is, we made a decision, my MSP made a decision that we want to just focus on the infrastructure. We didn't really want to go that deep in the clinical workflows. Other MSPs decided they wanted to go deeper and they really wanted to understand and implement the EHR, systems themselves. So this is the first piece. We said, what is your role in the AI revolution? Well, MSPs, they figured out whether they wanted to be an MSP that is a general contractor focusing on infrastructure or an MSP that really dove into workflows. And I think AI is going to give us that opportunity to make those decisions. You don't have to make that decision today, but I think in the near future, you're going to see AI adoption and where does your MSP fit in? So, keep that in mind as we start talking about some of the opportunities that AI presents.
All right, so I think we did kind of hit on some of this, but why are MSPs critical for AI adoption? What's the role that we can play? I know you talked about the difference between being the implementer or taking a different approach to it. Just talk to us through that a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. I mean, I think the first one is education, training and awareness. This thing, everyone's heard of AI. And if you ask people, what is it? Is it the Terminator coming from 20 years ago? Is it, a Tesla driving itself? Is it these automated bots? There's so much hype around it. MSPs relating to clients or explaining to clients what AI is and what it isn't, what it could be used for today and what it can't. That's a huge role. Think about that, with cybersecurity. That's what MSPs have done. What is it? Why should you be concerned? Think about with cloud computing. We explain to our clients what cloud computing is, what's the benefits, what are the risks. MSPs have that role. I think that's a key role, and clients look to us to be able to provide that insight. And we know clients. We know how many people are working in finance. We know what their job functions are. We can help them with understanding how AI can help them, help the clients. And also we're already helping with productivity tools with Microsoft 365, with Google Workspace. So MSPs are trusted by clients. We play a major role in being able to explain why and how AI can help that client. And so just one thing further is what's really important, in my view, MSPs have two categories of services. They sell productivity, all right? You're patching networks, you're making sure the internet is working, you're making sure that people can print, people can get to applications, they can get to data, so employees can work. That's productivity, right? If the network is down, if a system is down, employees can't work, they can't do their job. So MSP's core role is providing productivity and network support for that network, meaning cloud and any local. The other thing is cybersecurity, right? Making sure that employees are using all of these systems and networks and in a safe and secure manner. And AI straddles the line between massive productivity and cybersecurity. So I think AI fits into what MSPs do and the services they provide perfectly. They're doing it now, we're doing it now, and this just really maps into the services we're offering turbocharged.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think, like what we just talked about on the last side, it's not that you need to choose where you want to be at this point in time, but as Art mentioned, cybersecurity and productivity are something that is already so ingrained in your clients. They're used to coming to you and looking for that information through you. So I think this is just a natural extension of that.
Absolutely.
All right, so from an MSP's perspective, what is in it for them in terms of AI, having those conversations with clients, and
Yep.
having the kind of cybersecurity and productivity approach to it?
Yeah, anything that you can talk to a client beyond, basic network and computers, you become much more trusted. If you can actually start talking about operational efficiencies and helping clients do more with less, that becomes a much better relationship than, you look like every other MSP, and if I replaced you, I can just get someone else and they'll help with my help desk tickets and printers. You don't want to be that person, right? You don't want to compete against the $75 an endpoint MSP. You want a higher level of service, and value to your clients. And then you also, by getting into AI and where it will lead, will give you the ability to offer new services, and bundle those services in, charge for them, whatever that is. So being able to offer additional service opportunities, differentiating from competition, and then keeping clients. I mean, if you're helping them implement AI and they're seeing productivity value, you become a real trusted advisor to them. And what's interesting is 8 years ago, when we were talking to MSPs about cybersecurity and why they should really focus on cybersecurity, training employees, implementing lots of cybersecurity for your clients, these are the exact same things we said. The more that you can be trusted in terms of protecting your client, the more that you can offer new services, the more that you can differentiate your MSP. And cybersecurity. Look, 8 years forward, every MSP now is doing that. And the early adopters really did differentiate themselves. They really did, were much more valued by their clients. AI is going to present the exact same opportunity, and as cybersecurity did, but I think it's going to be even larger.
I agree. And with how fast we're already seeing changes in AI, there's constantly chat GPT updates and things like that. It's going to be important for clients to stay up to date on those things. So that client retention is a really big point here.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So what does a roadmap look like for MSPs to help their SMB clients get into adopting AI and kind of the
Yep.
education behind that?
Yeah, I think the first thing is MSPs need to understand where AI can help a client. What is available? What's the low-hanging fruit? And have those conversations. Start to talk to clients about, because they're hearing about it. Right? You have to be living under a rock not to know about AI. Having those conversations and building awareness is the key step. That's the first piece. The other is starting to figure out, where does AI fit in? Like, if you could, someone in HR who's hiring and getting lots of resumes or writing job description, could they benefit from the use of AI? Could, finance, could support. So understanding where that job function, what that job function is, what those employees do, and how AI can help is a huge piece, because business owners might not know that mapping. So that's another thing. And then building a vendor network, right? If you take the example of cybersecurity, lots of MSPs partnered with security awareness training vendors, manage EDRs, manage SOC, vulnerability scanning tools. These are vendors that were able to help clients. I think AI, right now we're really early. There may not be a whole lot of tools that you can use or resell, but we're going to see more and more of that. So I think being able to bring in solutions to clients going to be very important. And it's going to open up a lot of opportunities, and clients are going to want to know, and they're going to lean on their MSPs to get that information. And then the whole thing, there's a whole bunch of security, ethical, regulatory issues around AI. Cybersecurity, we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes, but just regulatory, how can healthcare use it? How can lawyers and legal use that? And where does it fit in? And with copyright issues and all of these things that clients are going to want to know, like, can we use this? Is it safe to use? What's the dangers? And MSPs are going to play a big role in helping clients understand that. And then, as you just said, Nicole, it's changing so fast. It is, not only are new tools, but there are new features within the tools that are available. Continuous learning, continuous, continuous feature rollout. So that is going to be very important to stay up on these changes, so you can communicate that and express the value of these new features and how to use the new tools or new features. So doing all that is a huge piece to helping clients.
All right, so that was a great recap for MSPs. We're going to look now at why SMBs. So why should your clients be interested in adopting AI and the kind of what's in it for them?
Right. Yeah. As a business owner, as and putting myself in my client's shoes, the more that I could get operational efficiencies, the more productivity, the more I can do less. I could do more with less, right? The more I could, if I could 2x or 3x or 5x or 10x my employees, we have 100 employees. If they can do the work of 200 employees or 400 employees or 500 employees, that is terrific. I mean, that is a message I want to hear, and I know clients want to hear that. They also have already invested in productivity tools, right? Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, some of the biggest productivity tools in the world. They already know that if I invest in these productivity tools, my employees will be able to communicate better. They'll be able to, do analysis better. They'll want to leverage these new AI tools, whether they're separate tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, or whether they're AI features within Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace. And it allows companies to grow, and grow. We're talking about 2x or 3x. You can grow and do more quickly and efficiently, and that is really what's in it for clients and SMBs. If they understood that realistic expectations, they're going to embrace this, because it's going to be hard to say no, right? Because you want all of those benefits that AI will bring to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know there's a lot of roadblocks to AI adoption. There's a lot of concern, barriers, things like that with clients wanting to implement AI and also just buying into it, I guess, overall. Do you want to talk
Yeah.
through those?
Yeah, I mean, any new technology, there is concerns, right? When we were talking to clients about connecting their networks to the internet, they were concerned. They were like, what happens if cyber criminals come in? They were right, right? There was a risk, the risk of doing that, but the benefits outweighed the risk in most cases. When we talked about moving to the cloud, there was risk. Why would I move to the cloud? Aren't I safer? Isn't it better to have my local servers? We convince them to move to the cloud. So any new technology is going to bring some fear of technology. We don't understand this. We don't understand what it is. We're worried about the Terminator. We're worried about all of these things that potentially could go wrong. So there's going to be resistance, right? And I think the MSP's role is going to have to be, how do you help alleviate some of that resistance or alleviate some of these fears? They're going to have data privacy and security concerns. I mean, you can't not. And every new technology comes along with security concerns and privacy concerns, and those are real. And clients are going to want to know, and they're going to ask those questions. Is this expensive? AI seems really expensive. I keep hearing about all these chips and these LLMs, these large models. I don't even know what this is, but it's got to be expensive. Those are going to be real barriers. And for the most part, people don't like to change, right? They like incremental change. AI potentially could be much more than incremental change. So I think those are the pieces that you're going to, or those are the issues you're going to hear, along with ethical and legal concerns, regulatory, copyright issues. So there is a lot that before an organization says, yeah, let's go all in on AI, they need to overcome some of these fears and some of these barriers. And as long as MSPs know that, they'll be able to have those conversations and help. And again, just to sum that up, we've experienced this already with internet, with cloud, with digital X-rays, with implementing document management, CRMs, all of this stuff, came with resistance, and MSPs have been very good at overcoming and helping clients with that resistance and breaking down some of those barriers.
All right, so we're going to look at some statistics now, just kind of getting a feel of what employers are saying about AI. So we talked a lot about the barriers and the concerns around AI, but we're seeing 77% of executives see generative AI as the most impactful emerging technology they will use. We also see 73% believe generative AI will increase their workforce productivity, and almost 80% of leaders agree their company needs to adopt AI to stay competitive. So
Yeah.
these numbers are huge. I mean, they're telling us, despite all the barriers, despite all the roadblocks we just talked about, employers do see the value of AI. They see what it could bring to their organization, to their employees. But the last stat here is 60% worry their organization's leadership lacks a plan and a vision to implement AI. So this is really
Yeah.
where I think they're going to be turning to you as the MSP to help have these conversations and help them get over those hurdles.
Yeah, again, they're hearing the benefits. They're hearing how, this is going to help reduce the workforce and help companies grow. They want to know, if small business or, large, mid-sized business or even enterprise, they know this is coming. They want to be a part of that, and they're afraid they're going to get left behind. But that is a major positive that you have such demand already before we're even talking to them about this. So I think that really shows that there is an opportunity here for MSPs and their clients to adopt AI.
Yeah, absolutely. What about employees? So, how are employees feeling about AI? What are their kind of first instincts on using it, the misconceptions?
Yeah, for the most part, I think employees are excited, but they're fearful, right? Yeah, everyone, you can't talk about AI with saying that it's going to replace jobs, right? And as a human, as an employee, as somebody, nobody wants to hear that a technology is going to replace them. So there is some apprehension, right? So you're going into that. Plus, there is, what is AI? Again, the Terminator, this Tesla driving by itself. What's that have to do with my job? So I think employees are trying to figure out, like, where does it fit in and how does it help me? There also, some of the misconceptions are, there's AI, it's just going to do something for me. It's going to spit out the right answers and I'm just going to copy paste it and be done. That's not exactly the way it works either. So, I think employees, just like clients, they need to be reassured of what AI can do for them, what it can't do, how it can help them, how it can make them better. One of the things um, that has been said, a quote is interesting, is AI is not going to replace you. An employee using AI will replace you. And I think that's really impactful, meaning it's time to level up, because if you don't, people who embrace AI become these super employees and superhumans, right? And the people who don't use AI are going to fall behind. And so I don't think look at it as a negative. I think it's a huge opportunity for employees to embrace this new technology and really help them.
Yeah. And I think a couple points from the client side that we didn't list here twice is just what can I put in Chat GPT? Am I allowed to put my customers' names into it? Is that going to be a breach or a violation? And something I know that we talk a lot about on our side is just using AI to write things. And am I copying if I use that text? Or
Right.
uh, can you tell if you read it that I used AI? Is that something that I should be ashamed of or excited about? So I think there's just a lot of new feelings that are coming up that will just take some time to work through.
I totally agree. I think we'll talk about some of that on the next slide. So what's in it for employees? Because I think there's the positive side of that, right? They're concerned, what can I use it for? one of the things that one of the studies when we'll show it is employees are using it, but they're not telling people they're using it. All right, and I
Right.
think that's a big issue, and I think that fear, but the piece that I would say, something that I would really drive home to employees is AI is going to help you. It's going to help you do your job. You're an expert at your job. AI will make you better. Okay. AI will take away the pieces that you don't really like, or maybe that you're not really good at. So say you like writing, but you're not good at proofreading. AI is perfect for that. Say you're a marketer and you're looking for content ideas. AI is really good for that. Say you're a marketer, but you're not really good at analyzing data. Yeah, throw your open rates or your click rates into ChatGPT and have it analyze that. So I think one of the things we want to make clear to employees is AI is going to automate and help you get rid of some of the things you don't really like or you're not really good at, and let you focus on the pieces that you are really good at and become much better at you know doing the things that you like to do. So, I think it's holding an employee's hand and helping them understand how this can help them. It's not here to replace you. It's not here to take your job, but it is here to help you with the things that you don't like to do, that you're not strong at, and make you much better at the things that you do like to do. And that is a key reassuring message that I think MSPs should be delivering to employees and businesses. If you start to build a culture of AI, businesses should be telling employees it's okay to use AI. It's okay to do this. In fact, it's encouraged. Share your knowledge with other employees. So I think we're going to see a lot around culture of AI, especially as we talk about this machine working alongside humans. So what do you think about that, Nicole? You think that we're going to hear a lot about, like, how do you work alongside a machine and this AI?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next slide is the stats that you were referencing, and I think this is a good point here. 52% of people who use AI at work are reluctant to admit to using it for their most important tasks. I think this speaks to building a culture of AI, right? I mean, we're big on cybersecurity here at Breach Secure Now. We constantly preach on the importance of building a culture of cybersecurity and
Right?
what that looks like, and really making the organization feel part of something and excited about cybersecurity. I think it's going to be the same thing here with AI, is just celebrating employees using it and giving them the tools to feel comfortable to have a conversation with their coworker about, hey, I just automated this task and I saved this much time. And I think
Yeah.
that really is big for me. I think just having those conversations more openly, and that all comes from
The other
culture.
way, because if you think about it, as a human, I created something, I did it myself. I should get all of the credit. But if I
Right.
really use AI and it helped me create, am I really that smart? Am I really that good? And I think that's why people don't tell other people they're using AI, right?
Yeah.
And I think if we start to peel back some of those barriers and those layers and saying, you use AI. It's like you didn't walk to work, you drove your car to work. That's a good thing, right? You got it on
Right.
time. It didn't take you 3 hours to get there. You used a car. So it really is a different mindset on using this new, AI and these new tools.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at some of these other stats, 92% of surveyed employees say AI is having a positive impact on their work. Almost 80% are bringing their own AI tools to work already, so using probably their personal chat GPT accounts and things like that. And 83% say that it helps them enjoy their work more. So I think, we're seeing here that employees are really excited about AI. They may be reluctant to admit they're using it, but they're excited about the possibilities. It's bringing more joy to their workday. I think that says a lot about, where this is going to go for employees.
The bottom line is anyone who's actually used ChatGPT or Gemini and it like wrote something for you or it did something for you, you sit there and go, this is amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, there is frustration. There is sometimes it's frustrating, it doesn't do, but when you actually get it to do what you want, you sit there and go, I can't believe this. But remember with grammar? Nicole, you used to be the grammar queen.
Yes.
Tell you that because everyone in the company, no one could spell, no one could write, and you had to proofread everything.
Everything.
Now ChatGPT has replaced you, so your crown has been hung up.
It hurts a bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm happy for everyone using it. All right, so let's look at some professional use cases. I know we talked a lot about employees are already using this, but what other kinds of ways can different departments really maximize the use of AI?
And I think these are the conversations that MSPs have to have with clients, right? AI and ChatGPT and these generative AI tools can absolutely help with HR functions, right? Whether you're screening resumes or writing job descriptions, whether you're writing handbooks or policies and procedures, AI can definitely help with those. From a sales and marketing perspective, automating repetitive tasks, sending emails or writing emails or going through and analyzing some of your sales forecasts. On the marketing side, we've seen this, helping with blogs, helping with content, helping with webinars. Not that ChatGPT had anything to do with helping. We did this all as humans. We
That's
didn't
right.
ask at all. But that is definitely those are low-hanging fruits that AI can help with. Customer service, personalizing responses to customers, putting a company's catalog of products into some of the information that customer support reps could go and ask questions about. So you can educate them just by using ChatGPT and putting that as some context in some of the things that they ask for. Then finance, analyzing data, analyzing spreadsheets, using that data, writing reports. These are things that almost every business does. And AI and generative AI has a huge role in helping employees do every one of these common functions. So I think explaining that to clients, explaining that to employees, and getting them to use these tools for these low-hanging work cases will be early wins for companies, early wins for MSPs and the clients' employees.
Yeah.
All right. Can't talk about AI and you can't be on a BSN webinar without talking about cybersecurity, right? So
Right.
I think, when you look at AI, there's huge cybersecurity implications. There we go. And from you mentioned it before, Nicole. An employee putting in patient information or PII or intellectual property. You don't want to do that. I mean, AI has a real risk as people start to use it and throw stuff into it. Has a real risk of causing data breaches and giving away trade secrets and doing things that we absolutely don't want employees to do. And on the other side, and this is something that we need to educate clients and employees, just as AI will make employees and businesses more productive, it makes cyber criminals and cyber criminal organizations much more productive. All right, phishing and spear phishing and phishing spear phishing at scale. Skimming information off of LinkedIn or public information or dark web information combined with generative AI, you have the recipe to have really targeted phishing emails. Right, it's going to get much worse. Deep fakes. Understanding how easy it is to make a deep fake video or voice and how employees can be scammed. Doing automated vulnerability scanning and malware deployment, it's going to get easier. It's going to get, the problem is, as much as it helps employees and businesses, it's going to help cyber criminals. And then, there's just a lot of other pieces that are just going to be, used by cyber criminals to scam employees. So helping employees understand the risks of using it with their own data, but how criminals will be able to use AI is huge. And I think the more that we can show them and how easy it is and how real it is, they'll be more prepared for that. I mean, you think about it, they're falling for phishing emails that are just generic today. Wait till it gets 10, 10x, 100x worse. And wait till, the video or voice sound, when your eyes and your ears deceive you, it's going to be really hard to defend against some of these things. So, it's going to be critical to put AI in the light of cybersecurity and how the impact of on organizations.
Yeah. And as we talked about at the beginning of this webinar, as an MSP, you have already been talking about the cybersecurity and the productivity message of this. I think education around cybersecurity, a lot of these things are things that employees probably aren't thinking about yet. They're still trying to
Yep,
figure out how to use AI or what it even means to use AI. So I think having these conversations and kind of being that front runner in helping them understand there's a lot of benefits with AI, but there is a lot of risks that you need to be well prepared for as well is going to be really important.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right,
All right.
Art, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, people always ask, like, what's the next step? Okay, Art, Nicole, kind of buy into what you're saying. What's the next step? And I've read, Nicole and I have both read this book, which is, I think it's phenomenal. It really, this is called Co-Intelligence by Ethan Mollick. Excellent. It really will give you a lot of good talking points. He is, he explains it very well of how humans work, the whole thing, co-intelligence, humans and AI, how they can work together, what it's good for, what it's not good for. I highly recommend reading this book, taking some notes on it, because these will be the steps or the information that will give you a lot of useful talking points to go to clients and start having meaningful conversations. I think, Nicole, you're going to drop it in the chat, right?
Yep, I'll put it in the chat.
And I'll just read this real quick because I think this kind of sums up what we just talked about. As artificial intelligence proliferates, users who intimately understand the nuances, limitations, and abilities of AI tools are uniquely positioned to unlock AI's full innovative potential. These user innovators are often the source of breakthrough ideas for new products and services. So if you take what he's saying here is, giving employees these AI tools, teaching them how to use it, teaching them when to trust it, when not to trust it, will make them much better. And then individuals in an organization being made much better, much more productive, will innovate. They'll innovate their own job. If you're in sales, they'll innovate their own job functions and sell more, or they'll innovate more on the product side, or they'll do other functions. So, taking the sum of all of these employees, your organization's going to be much better. But it really is those employees who understand how to use AI properly and embrace that. Those are the ones that are going to be, see the biggest bang for the buck. So again, highly recommend this book. Excellent, and it really will help you with conversations with your clients.
Yeah, I won't say too much because I know we're running low on time, but from an employee perspective, reading this book, not as an MSP, it helped me, I think, really break down some of those fears around AI of like, oh, it's going to take over the world, it's going to take over my job. It really helped me understand, this is a working together thing. This isn't something that's just here to take over everything. I think
Right.
there's a lot to be said in this book that would help employees understand the value.
Absolutely.
All right, so our next step here, we want to invite you on June 18th at 2 p.m. to our next webinar, Breach Secure Now AI Training Unveiled. This will be our first exclusive preview of Breach Secure Now's artificial intelligence training program. That's launching to all our partners on July 1st. This is a great opportunity to see it in action. We'll go through the fundamental course so you can see what's included in that. We'll talk about the cybersecurity course and really drill down to the content that we're going to be delivering, along with the weekly training through Nanos. This one is unique to BSN. There's more to this training package than any of our other productivity offerings right now. We're going to be giving out an AI meaningful use or an AI acceptable use policy in here as well, along with some additional content. So join us on
Yeah.
June 18th. This is the first chance to see it live, and I think we're really excited about that. I'm going to
And
drop
we're
the link.
training, and this class is really training employees how to use the tools that we're talking about. So, as an MSP, you're sitting here going, well, how do I do this? BSN is going to help, especially with the training, just like we did with cybersecurity. We're going to do that with AI from a productivity and a cybersecurity aspect. So, as Nicole said, join us. We're going to show you some of the content and how you can help clients with this training.
Absolutely. All right, time for the prize giveaway.
All right, let
Uh,
it spin.
we we did spin the wheel. The marketing team is over here helping me out. Looks like the first winner is not present though, so I'm checking
Okay.
to see if Michael Leonard is here. And he's here. Okay, Michael
All
Leonard, you
right.
are our winner. Congratulations.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'll reach out to you after the webinar to coordinate that for you as well. All right, last thing we wanted to mention is just to stay connected with Breach Secure Now. So if you're not connected with us on LinkedIn, or if you're not connected with Art on LinkedIn either, it's a great opportunity. We really are big on sharing educational resources at BSN. So Art posts a lot of content about AI. If you're following him, I'm sure you've seen that. Also on our blog, we do post a lot of content that you're free to use as you wish as well. Art, anything to add on that?
No, I just, as you said, I talk a lot about it. I try not to do it salesy, just talking about opportunities and where AI, cybersecurity. Definitely follow me, follow BSN. We believe in education, lots of education to our partners, to their clients, to their employees. So,
Awesome. Well, that's all we have today. Thank you so much for joining us for our webinar. I did put the link to register for our upcoming webinar in the chat. We will be sending out the follow-up recording, and we'll include the link to the next webinar in that as well. Art,
all
thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Nicole. We did really good. We're
Yeah,
46 minutes. We're only 1 minute over.
nice.
All
Not
right.
bad.
Not bad at all. Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
Have a good day.
Take care.